Good night. Welcome back to our channel. We have been gone for quite a while, haven't we?
Yes, hello everyone. It's good to be back. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves tonight. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like, and comment.
So tonight we have a very touchy subject, and I pulled this subject from something that I heard today, and I hope he's watching. Um, he's a friend of mine. Um, I want to dedicate this episode to him, and I want him to know that you will be in my prayers because at the end of the day, it is very, very important. Um, I must say, for someone to open up to you and hardly knows you, it's almost like you almost feel as if you're an angel coming to help someone. That's how I felt. Um, I think this person um, is going to go down a rough path, and I just want you to know if you watch this video, whenever you feel like talking, whenever you feel like just going for a drink, get some red wine. I like my red wines. Whenever you feel like you just want to vent, you know my number. Text me, call me. That's what I'm here for as a friend. So our topic tonight is, how far should a family member or a friend get into a divorce with you? How far should they get into a divorce with you?
And it's not even like how far they should get into the divorce with you. It's like how far should they get into your marriage? Like what are the boundary lines for family and friends in your marriage?
Yes, Andrea put it so very well. She's looking gorgeous tonight. Oh my gosh. I mean, she got me looking a little bit rough, but hey, I had a rough week. Okay, so let's move on to the topic. Welcome back to our channel. Like I said before, thank you for joining us. And if you have been watching our videos, we thank you also for watching our videos. We hope that some people are getting help within this divorce process that they're going through, and you're being able to understand some of the stuff we talk about, and you're willing to get some help or just sit down and talk to a close friend, um, a pastor, or get some counseling. And like we said before in our videos, we're not here to give you counsel. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're just here to enlighten you all on the experiences we went through, which means Andrea, and what I am going through now in my process of divorce. And maybe it will be able to just let you see what is inside the process of us going through the divorce. This is not easy. A lot of it we're putting out here. I'm for one, I don't really like to talk about a lot of stuff that goes on in my life. But I'm going to do it anyhow because it's to help somebody. So today, was talking to a friend, and just it was really kind of disturbing, and it really melted my heart. I even shed a few tears. But it is so real because it happens so many times and so often when we going through the process of a divorce. We have family members and friends, neighbors, close by loved ones that we run to just to vent to sometimes, or that person is just there like a neighbor and they know us, but they are there seeking, looking, spying, and running back. to the other person and just saying whatever. As a family member, when I started going through my divorce, like I said before, a lot of my family members did not know. I think I told my brother, my sister, and my mom. And that was it. I had two friends who really knew the full story of my divorce. I did not go through the whole process with them because I know I had one friend, she was ready to come and do some damage, but wasn't going to let that happen. So we want to be mindful as to how often we allow people to come into our lives and we give them insight on the stuff that's going on into our lives, because it's really, really serious. To think about someone harming you, and not even just you, it could be your spouse, it could be someone else in that spouse family, that gets information and they get it the wrong way, and they come in a way to harm you, whether it's physical or whether it's not physical. But any which way it makes you do not sleep comfortable at night, it's not good. It's not good at all. Um, to hear some people's story, it's almost unreal to see the way people, they wouldn't just walk away without finish tormenting you. They won't walk away unless they see you really on your knees, begging them to just stop, or begging you to just give them some relief. And some people just get a pleasure out of seeing other people hurt. We don't want that. We really don't. I was fortunate enough to know how far and who all to tell my problems to when I started going through my divorce. Even when I was going through some of my situations, I I had a friend who I would go and talk to, and my mother did not know most of my details going through my marriage because she is my mother. She could feel any sort of way in that. So my friend, she was really, she's really close to me, and so I confide in her a lot. I even had a sister, have a sister, which is Andre. I confide in her a lot, and she was a confidant to me. Like, she prayed with me. But there were friends that was like, oh yeah, no, I come in to get him, or what you need me to do. That is what we do not want. So we are saying to be careful for the things you put out there and the people that you have around you as you're going through this process.
Yes, I totally agree with what Tina just said because like your family and friends, they love you. And yes, we do have some ride or die family members and friends. And the thing about it is they have feelings too. And when they hear that their loved one is being hurt, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or whatever, and that someone is the blame for this, they're not going to feel too good about it. And then on top of that, you kind of like if you're in your marriage, if you're still inside your marriage, and you're telling your family members, oh, my husband or my spouse is doing this to me, he's doing that to me, then sooner or later, you're not only going to rip the relationship between you and them, you're going to rip the relationship between your husband or your spouse and your family, because they're not going to look at him the same. Then, because a lot of times, like our loved ones and our friends, they don't know, like, okay, whatever she told me this in confidence, and I need to keep this to myself. They're going to have an attitude with your spouse. So then that is going to create a much more bigger problem in your marriage, because the first thing your spouse is going to say, oh, you're going outside the house and you're talking to this one and that one and the next one. And sometimes it's not like that. You need a relief and you need the comfort, but you also need that confidence and you need that privacy between you and your family member. You cannot go telling Mary Sue and Mama Jane, because I couldn't tell my mommy. I couldn't tell my mommy what was going on because I know my mommy was going to come for my husband. I couldn't tell my brothers because I know they was going to come for my husband. So who I told, I confided in my in my cousin at the time. And because me and my sister, like, somehow we just lost contact. Like a lot of things that I went through in the beginning, she was there, but somehow we lost contact. It was like, what, maybe like 5 years or something like that. Yeah, so we lost contact. So I had my cousin there, but my cousin could not stand my husband, and that made it difficult because every time I made up with my husband, she still hated him because she still had all of that information. And that is not what you need. You need someone at the end of the day to respect your marriage and to respect the decision that, hey, I'm having problems in my marriage. I'm confiding in you because I need someone to confide in. But at the end of the day, I don't need you to be having no attitude with my husband for him to know, or with my spouse for him to know, or for her to know that, hey, I'm talking to someone.
Yes, I like that what Andrea said. I remember when Andrea was going through her oh my camera. I remember when Andrea was started to go through her all this chaos in her life. Um, Me and her husband used to work at the same place. I knew I said on this that before I did not ex ex-husband. I knew I said on this before I did not like him. And that's because we knew each other from we was in middle school. And it was a shock to me to see how we intertwine again. And then come to find out that he was married to whew, he was married to my sister. Made it even worse. And in the process, finding out stuff when we was working to the hotel that he was doing, I mean, it even made me turn on some of the people I know he was fooling around with. Like I went at them. I almost lose my job for real. But you know, there's a saying, you keep your tongue, you keep your life. But you know, I really wanted truly to hurt him because I wasn't married then, but I knew what he was doing wasn't right. And I saw the hurt in her. And I didn't even know her that well, but to know that she was my sister, to know that she was my family. And then, you know, let me tell you, this situation can come so close and it's not one person getting hurt. You're talking about two families. You're talking about two families. Not only that, you're talking about kids within the family. You're talking about kids on both sides of the family. Everyone has to be mindful that if a person come to you about their situation, please sit with a listening ear and not a broken heart. It's not your heart that's being broken. It's your feelings that are being hurt, but it's not your heart that's being broken. Let's please remember that because this could lead from one thing to another. Oftentimes, I have seen and heard people do not transfer out of this process alive or hold or still looking lovely or handsome as they were. They get hurt in so many ways. So you got to be careful how you take the information and how you use that information. Because, like I said, you have to look at it that you're just not going after one person. You're going after two set of family. Two.
Yes, like Tina just said, it is the family unit. And like a lot of stuff I didn't even tell her because like it was so public because my ex, he did not hide what he did, he did not hide. And Yeah, it's a lot of hurt and it's a lot of shame. It's a lot of shame you go through to know that your family and your friends know that your mate or your companion is stepping out on you. And to see in the like the way it's been done, it's so disrespectful. It's blatantly disrespectful. So you have to just be careful who you confide in. Your family, like I say, your family, your friends, they love you. You know, they love you, but you have to find that someone, go to a pastor, go to a counselor, a psychiatrist, confide in a friend or confide in someone that you can trust to know. Now, if it's like violence, I do not say hide it. Do not hide violence. We do not like violence, and we do not promote violence. We do not cover up violence. We do not do no type of abuse. We don't do that. You understand? So if you are being abused and you are hiding that, don't do that, because that could cost you your life. If you're being abused, whether it's a woman or a man, whoever is being abused, you need to step out of that situation and get some help before it's too late. Don't take a chance with your life. Okay?
Yes, physical abuse, I think, is one of the worst in a marriage. Um, because you're dealing with physical abuse and you're dealing with mental abuse. I remember there's this story, I can't remember which pastor told the story, but there was this story where this gentleman, he was stepping out on his wife, and his wife get to find out, and she went over there and she burned both of them up. No, she didn't burn both of them up. The sweetheart found out that he was still talking with the wife, and she decided to have someone come in to harm him, to kill him. But in the process, she ended up getting shot. She ended up dying. And the two people that came in, I think they ended up dying too. I can't really remember how the story was, but someone ended up catching the house on fire, and he ended up um, getting burned also. But he still ended up, after all of that, his wife ended up taking him back. Um, this is a very touchy subject because it can go either way. It really can go either way. Um, Let me just talk to the one that is out there, whether you're cheating or you just leave the relationship, the marriage. Let me just say this: once you leave, if you're not sure that that is where you want to be, do yourself a mental favor and stay away. Because even though you think you're still coming back to hurt that person, you're hurting yourself even more. You're going to cause yourself to be in a place that you don't want to be. You're causing yourself to hate yourself. You're hating yourself, only going to add more conflict and more. Let me just say it like this: you hating yourself, meaning you want to see somebody else hurt, because now you're taking your hurt and you're putting it on someone else because you feel like you're not going to hurt anymore. But you are. In the long run, you are. If you're out, stay away, figure out what is wrong, what went wrong, and how can you fix it. Putting that hurt on someone else, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And then also when you have kids involved, that's even worse. I would say this to family and friends. Back home in the Bahamas, we would say a child should know their place. If someone come to you with information or just want to sit and talk about their situation, know your place. I would always say, I had a friend and she would come to me. She's like, what you think I should do? What you think I should do? I don't know the depth of your marriage. I don't know where the problem stemmed from, but I don't want to be the one to tell you you should leave your husband, or your husband should leave, or the husband should leave the wife. I don't never want to be that person to say that, because that right there, you add more injury to what could have been, and it could change their lives. They need to figure that out. Don't try to be the judge, don't try to be the jury, and please don't try to be God. Because at the end of the day, when that person leaves their husband and their wife, or their wife and their husband, they have to deal with the situation all by themselves. Because you're not going to be there 24/7 when they're going through the hurt and the pain, at night when they are crying, at night when they just, I don't care what went wrong in that relationship, that spouse is going to miss that spouse. That spouse is going to miss that companionship that they had. So in the night when they're crying and they feel lonely, they're not crying because, oh, you was there to comfort them and you're not there no more. They're crying because they missed something they had. And only so far and only so much you can do to help them. You only could talk to them. But at the end of the day, God heals all broken hearts, not humans. God heals all broken hearts. We cannot heal nobody broken heart. We cannot mend nobody's broken heart. We cannot. The only thing we can do is our words and our prayers, put a band-aid over it, and God do the rest. It's praying for healing. That's what you can do. Please, please, please don't get into the affair of the marriage where you want to help disconnect. Because no matter what you do, it ain't up to you to disconnect that marriage. It's up to those two to disconnect the marriage. And when God says it's over, that is going to be the one who has the final say.
And another thing, you have to be careful about people coming to you with gossip about your spouse. That gossip and that backbiting, oh my God, that destroy a lot of marriages, because sometimes by the time as you hear that story goes a totally different way. You understand? Don't allow, listen, even if it's your mom, don't allow nobody to bring you gossip about your spouse. A lot of times, if you want to know what's going on in your spouse's life, you get down on your knees and you pray. I know us women, we have that intuition. We have that woman's intuition. So we know. I don't know how men, they perceive that something wrong is going on in their marriage, but I know us women, we have that woman's intuition. Do not allow your girlfriends and stuff like that to bring you information about your spouse, because sometimes it could lead down to a bad situation. And I could tell you this. One of my friends one time, she told me that my husband was out cheating with this specific woman. And listen, after she said that to me, I forget everything and I just lost it. And I just jumped in my car and I went straight down on his job and I confronted him about that situation. You understand? And like he said, after we talked about it, like he said that could have caused your death. He said, what if you had gotten in an accident driving with all that rage coming to me? Then what would have happened? You understand what I'm saying? He could have been free to be seeing whomever he want to, and then I leave my children because I'm gone. You understand? So always think twice and never, like, you don't never do things when you angry. Like always calm down. Count to 10, count to 20. Go for a walk, go for a drive, do whatever, but don't never say things or do things when you are very angry, because most of the times you end up regretting what you say or what you did in that anger.
I had a similar situation. I think with all of my situations, um, it was never a tell from anyone. Um, I know I did follow my husband a lot because we was on the same phone plan and GPS. We was hooked up. But I remember there was one night that I was sleeping and God woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he told me exactly where to go to see where my husband was. And I remember trying to leave from there. And I was like, he even in here. Like, where is this? And God said, look up at the sign. And the sign I looked up at was the same thing on the GPS. And I spent around that building one time and did not see that car. But in the space of probably it was less than a minute, I come back around the building, the car was there. Um, and I called him out and I took a picture and I sent it to him and told him to come outside and we fought in the parking lot and that could have cost my death, right? Because I didn't know who was in that building. But at the end of the day, I wasn't sent there by no one. I was sent there by God. A lot of times, when Andrea talk about women intuitions, because I didn't have no friends, everything within me relied on my intuition and prayer. God lead me to so many things about if I even tell um him about it, he probably like, no, no, God didn't tell you that. You follow, but I'm telling you, so many things God just showed to me. So many things just came up because I just sit still and I pray. I'm saying that to say this. Like she said, stop, think, count to 10. Get yourself a book. Get yourself some sticky notes. Write on those. Write in your book. Listen to some songs. It could be a love song, it could be a Christian song. If you don't want to read your Bible, put your YouTube on, put some gospel music on, put the Bible on audio, and just listen. The word of God will calm you down. But I'm saying that to say this also. Do not always turn to friends and family when you are in deep, deep hurt, because it will cause. Look, sometimes friends can be too close, and sometimes family can be too close. They can. And it's good to rely and lean on people, but sometimes they are too close. And that's why God said, I am a comforter. You have to go to God. You have to and you should rely on God. And that's where you should build your trust. Right now, I'm talking to those who are going through the process of a divorce and you're listening to this or you come across this. Please listen. Your comforter is God. I know you want to talk to friends. Friends going to tell you what what they think you want. How would you put it? What they think you want to hear. And friends would tell you, oh, if I was you, I would do this. And I remember saying that too when I saw, oh, girl, if that was me, girl, I would leave him, girl. I wouldn't be, but no. And I got smack up in it. I didn't leave. I sure did not. I stayed, looked stupid, got talked too bad, got the embarrassment of my lifetime. I mean, my husband dissed me in front of a whole woman. Like I was not a wife then. I was not a wife then. That's what I thought. I was like, I thought I was the wife. You're supposed to be leaving home with me. You supposed to be leaving to go back home with me, but no, you telling me to go and you went in the house with her. You gotta be careful. You know what he said to me? You need to leave because she get a gun. You gotta be so, so careful. Please be careful who you speak to. Be careful who are around you. And just keep yourself in tune with God. Keep yourself in tune with people you can trust. And sometimes just tell people, I remember I used to telling Andrea, I was like, look, I don't want to hear you preaching to me today. I just want you to hear me talk. I just want you to tell me something other than the word. Because I want to hear that today. I want to hear something else. And she'd be like, there's something else I could tell you, but the word. So sometimes you just be mindful. Hearing from a friend today really hurt. I felt hurt. Um, I felt really emotional for him. And this is a man. So when you have someone doing all they can do and you get another person just hurting them for no reason in any which way, shape, or form, I don't think no one wants to go through that. You do not want to hear your friend or your family member go through that. So, to friends and to family members, please be patient, be mindful, and think, if this was me, what would I do, or what would I want that person to do? And of course, going to get yourself in trouble is not the answer. So be mindful of anybody's space.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. And I know a lot of times too, before I got married, I'd say, boy, if that was me, what I would do this, I would do that. And child, when you in love, when you in love, child, you ain't gonna do nothing but sit there and cry. That's all you can do. Just sit there and cry and just take it because you love that man. And a lot of times, us women, we tend to love our men more than we love ourselves. We sacrifice a lot for our men, for our husbands, and sometimes they don't even sacrifice nothing for us, or they don't even sacrifice nothing to be with us, because we're here today because we married two men who did not respect us enough as good women not to cheat on us, you know. And like Tina said, her husband embarrassed her in front of a woman, and I experienced that same thing. I experienced that exact same thing. You understand? They send you home, go home while they go to be with their sweetheart. They don't care because they want their sweetheart to feel like, oh, you's the wife. You was the one. Look how I disrespect her for you. So therefore, is you who I want to be with, What man does that? You know? He's not a man. He's a boy. You understand? So don't worry about it. Don't run behind them because, hey, you see, God kept us. In the end of it, God kept us. All I had was prayers, my Bible in my hand in the nighttime while I went to sleep, and I read. I read the promises of God, and that's what kept me. That's what kept me sane. That's what kept me strong for my children to know that there were women before me who traveled the same road that I have traveled. Some of them did not make it, but some of them made it. And like my Grammy used to tell me, Andrea, you're not the first one, and you're not going to be the last one. So guess what? I told my sister, you ain't the first one. Trust me, you ain't gonna be the last one. So we hold our
I
head
tell
high.
you guys, you're not the first and you're not going to be the last.
That's right. That's right. So we hold up our head high because you did nothing wrong. All you did is you fall in love with the wrong person. So you get on your knees and you consult God and you ask Him about His plan and His purpose for your life because that is the best thing. He's not going to lead you down a wrong path. That's all we can say. We relied on the Holy Spirit and we helped out one another. Find someone, even if you cannot pray, find someone to pray for you, to cover you. You understand? Yes, that's.
So that's all we have for y'all tonight. I'm sitting here just looking at Andrea, how beautiful she is. And
Oh, Tina, stop it. She's beautiful too. I'm looking at her saying the same thing. Just look at her.
Andrea, let me finish saying what I have to say.
And just let me let you all know that Tina and I, we have a different mom, but we have the same dad, and we're only 1 month apart. 1 month. I born in January, she born in February, so I'm the oldest by a month, but well, actually about what, 5 or 6 weeks, give and take 5 or 6 weeks. That's it.
And so our story is very, very, very unique. I love our story. We also have another sister. Hopefully one day I would get her on here. Oh my gosh. Hopefully. I'm still working on it. She is the sister also of the same dad that we have apparently. And she was born on my birthday. So I was born in 72, she was born in 73, and Andrea was born in what, 71? No, no, mute.
So Tina and I both were born in 73. And then our sister was born in 74.
Right.
She's not that great with ages and birthdays. She's not that good. So I always have to remind her. Like I said, I'm the oldest.
Yeah, we were both born the same year. Child, they was doing some dirt. But you know what? We have a brother who also was born in 73.
Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah, because I born January, you born February, and he born in December. Yes. That's all I could say. Yes.
Nothing, nothing but the dog and me.
hmm But you know what? My mind just crossed, and I'm thinking about your friend, and I'm gonna seriously um, pray for him because there's absolutely nothing that God cannot do, and I hope that he gets through this with peace and comfort from God. You
We
know?
got you. Just
Yeah.
know we got you. We are here and we got you. It's not an easy road. It really isn't. And some days you just, I mean, after whatever happened, there's still gonna be feelings. There's still gonna be days where you sit and you think and you miss that person. But we got you. And just know I will be on my knees praying for you because if my, I wouldn't say my heart was broken, but if I felt that hurt, I can't imagine what you felt. I just cannot. And everybody that goes through this process, everyone, it might be the same pain, but the damage is different, the hurt is different, and our hearts broke in different pieces. Trust and believe. One plate don't never shatter and the next plate shatter and all of them have the same pieces. It just doesn't work that way. It don't. So just want you to know we got you and we will have you in our prayers. We are going on a fast too next week. She got me going on a fast, y'all. Child, I can't eat no. I have to store up on food. I gotta just be have a big stomach until Wednesday. But we got you. I'll be praying for you. So to all, I'm just gonna end this. To all, just letting you all know that stay encouraged, stay strong, and take it, please just take it one day at a time. Try not to do too much, try not to think too much. I had a client, she said, Tina, think within the moment. Because if you think without the you think out of the moment, you will lose yourself. And she said she had to clip her fingers and bring herself back to reality. And she had to just stand there and she had to think within the moment. Think within the moment. What could you do in that moment and in that day? Try not to do too much. Try not to overdo it. Try not to overthink it. And like we said before, seek God because He's your only comforter. and he's the only one who's going to give you peace, and he's going to make sure no harm come to you. Believe that in either way, because what you don't see, God got it, and he's doing it behind the scenes. Believe that. I believe it. Andrea believe it. So many others believe it. And I remember my aunt telling me, Tina, you don't deserve it, but what God has in store, we can't change it. I'm not saying that harm should come on people, but whatever God has in store, you can't change it. Just be strong and stay in prayer.
Yes, like Tina says, to stay strong, stay focused, stay focused. Put your hope and your confidence in God. The Bible tells us that the arms of flesh will fail us. You know, we're human, we're not perfect. Only God is perfect. So only Him could fix certain things. Sometimes two human beings together can't fix it. You have to have God in the middle. He has to be in the midst of that in order to fix that situation. So allow God to work on you, allow God to work on your spouse. And at the end of the day, if the both of you decide that this is not going to work, then just allow God. That's it. Because He's not going to lead you in the wrong direction. He has the best plan for you, and He has a purpose for you. He always had a purpose for you. And the only way His purpose can be done in your life, that's if you allow Him to do it. Okay, so stay safe. We love you. God bless. Remember, subscribe, like, share, comment, share,
Yes,
like.
God. I had a question and I wrote it down. One of my friends text me a question in my WhatsApp, and I wrote it down and I can't even remember the question. And I text her to ask her what the question was, and she hasn't texted me back. But if you're watching this, you can text me through the video. We will, or the email that's in there, and we will answer your questions and get back to you guys. Um, like always, like Andrea said, like, share, and subscribe. Please do not watch this video and think we are going to counsel you, because we're not. We're not going to tell you what to do. Use your own.
Yeah, so you know what we can do? Like one of these nights, instead of like having a talk or a topic, one of these nights we're just gonna pick out like all of the questions and try our best to answer them as best as we know how. So one of these nights we're gonna do that. Just answer questions. So
Yeah.
you guys put your questions there, and we'll do our best to give you an answer according to our experiences and what we went through.
Right.
Remember, we're not doctors, we're not counselors, we're not pastors. We're just two regular sisters who had the same experience, and we want to share them with you so we could help anyone. We just want to help people who are walking down the same path as us, or who think they are about to.
Right. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining with us tonight. Y'all have a blessed night. Be safe. Like we said, be careful who you share your story with, and just know that God has you. If nobody else does, God has you. Good night.